Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome once again to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works, that super secret research and development division of Dr. Jet Laboratories, where we sit around all day and invent things and make stuff. Today we are on part 3 of building the MHZ Miss Exide. Today, this is going to be off camera, I am going to mount the strut and the rudder. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of 1/8 inch G10 and I've drilled and tapped holes that match the hardware. And what I'm going to do is I've already marked out the mounting holes here on the transom. I'm going to drill these holes ever so slightly larger, only by a couple of thousandths, that I will have some adjustment as to vertical. And then what I'll do is I'll set the boat up with the transom or the control plate here level with the deck, and then I'll use a square to make sure this is on right. And the way this works, then I can just tighten these suckers up and they'll be there. And since the inside here, there's a seam and there's a piece of cloth and there's some curved edges and all, this flat thing isn't going to sit necessarily flush up against the transom. So I'm going to mix up epoxy and Cabasil to where it's kind of the consistency of toothpaste. And I'll smear a whole bunch of that on here, then grease these bolts, bolt on the hardware, and once it's square, I'll snug it down. Then as the epoxy is cooking, I'll come in with a gloved finger dipped in alcohol, and I'll smooth it out around there so it's not just running everywhere, so it'll look nice and neat. So that's the plan for this step. Now, some of you people may question me on this, although I think I'm on the right track. I'm going to use this little mini servo. It still has 7 kilograms. That's 14 pounds. 7 kilograms of torque at 1 centimeter. Well, my control arm is going to be about a centimeter. So this thing's going to have 14 pounds of pull. I'm sorry, boys and girls, but 14 pounds of pull on this rudder here for this boat, going to be more than enough. So I'm going to run that servo just to keep weight down. This thing's got enough weight with all those wings and such. Now, here's a little something. This prop here is a 1.6 pitch by 42, and it's got a bar cut in it, and it's been cupped a little bit. And I was thinking of running that on my old LSH boat. I'm going to resurrect that, and you'll see it later on, but it's an old Campbell shovel nose, about this same size. And so I'll show you that in the future. But I was going through my shelves, cleaning things out and putting stuff away, and I came across this little container full of props, and I'd completely forgotten about this. And I have a prop I might send to Big B, because this is an X447 that's been detongued and slightly worked, and you can tell by how oxidized it is. It hasn't seen use in a long time, but I might just send this to Big B, because this is the size prop he runs. It's kind of big for my stuff, so I might send him this. Might send him one of these too. I've got an ABC prop here he might like, and I think this is another ABC of 40 millimeters. We'll see about that. And then I have these old gas hydro props. Jim Brown's. Anyway, those aren't very useful. So this is what I was talking about. I just happen to have this really nicely prepped and balanced, thinned and sharpened V936 or is 937 standby. Let me get my magnifying glasses and look at it. It's a V937. Well, now 1.9 pitch, 37 millimeter diameter. That might work on this. The problem with these V9 series props is they don't get out of the hole very well. And guys ran these on outriggers a lot, and they'd throw them to launch them so they'd hit the water running. With a boat like this, I'm going to stop out in the middle of the lake for some reason at some time, and this may or may not get it moving. It might just cavitate the entire time. But it's going to be one of the ones I try out because I found it in this box of props that was way in the back. So there you have it, boys and girls. We're going to mount hardware today. We'll mix up epoxy. Once the rudder's in, I can start working on locating the servo. And what I'll do with the servo is I'll just take a piece of G10 and glue it in here. I'll show you on the other side at a slight angle so I can get at the screws on the servo. And it'll also stiffen this up. See how I got a little flex in here? So putting a plate in here will kill that flex. And I'll put one on the other side. Who knows? I might mount a receiver on it. It might just be a piece of, 32nd. I think I'll use 16th because I have to thread it for some screws here. So I'll use 16th G10 in there and just have a couple little braces to stiffen this thing up. So there you go, boys and girls. Until next time, jet out.